By 1337, the Eastern Roman Empire was a shadow of the power that had once dominated the Mediterranean. The catastrophe of the Fourth Crusade had shattered the empire more than a century earlier, leaving Constantinople under Latin rule and breaking imperial authority across the region. Although the Romans had reclaimed their capital in 1261, the damage had already been done. Successive emperors spent decades fighting civil wars, appeasing rival nobles, and exhausting what remained of the imperial treasury. While Constantinople looked inwards, a new threat emerged in Anatolia. Turkish beyliks steadily advanced across the lands the empire had ruled for centuries, seizing cities, farmland, and vital sources of revenue. Each loss weakened the state further, leaving the Romans increasingly unable to defend their own frontiers. By the time 1337 had arrived, the Eastern Romans still held Constantinople, the greatest city in Europe. Their situation was desperate, but not hopeless. The foundations of the empire had remained, and with the right leadership, the long decline of Rome could yet be reversed. Okay guys, so with that explains the current situation that this empire is in. Unfortunately, historically it didn't last. Now, with 1.2 and Fate the Phoenix, which is why I have decided to leave our last campaign as the Knights of Italia behind and work on a new one, which is this one, for the 8th time I played them on camera, is because they've added so much more new flavor to them that it's unreal. Like quadruple the amount of flavor as anything before. Now, there's some changes. We've got a higher deficit, lower legitimacy, and we start with a flat minus 45 stability. Rise of the Turks no longer gives minus, what was it, 25, 30 stability. First thing we're going to do is fix this. Make sure that we are not minting, we're not paying for anything. Basically just put all the sliders to the side, except from these ones which we're going to automate. We're then going to automate our markets because most of our issue is coming from our trading from. We were losing like 20 on that. Once we pause the game, we should go to like -3. After a month's tick, we might even get positive. We're going to ignore our legitimacy. There's nothing we can really do to get that up. Immediately go into export ban. Begin researching. You're going to want to research monthly diplomat instead of our specific one. Diplomatic capacity, then our specific one, then down to construction speed for this food one and the construction speed one. This one's useless pretty much for our current stage. And then due to events later on, this vassal here can flip to you. So you're going to want to start building a spy network. So you can agitate liberty. Also with the Ottomans, you're going to want to build a spy network so you can fabricate a CV without having to waste the parliament. Parliaments are really important, especially early on. We are then going to delete this fort here in Philadelphia. We're not going to hire anyone to our cabinet, but we are going to use our cabinet. First things that we're going to do with our cabinet is reduce our war exhaustion. We start with 9.8, which is terrible. We won't be able to win any solid wars like that. Second, we are going to stabilize country. That's important. We're going to want to get our stability up. Then with our PM, we are going to change our societal values to communalism for that revoke privilege cost. Also, it makes our states happier. But unfortunately, it does allow Pop to join rebels quicker. And since he's the PM, who's actually very good at what he does, this will go by really fast, hopefully. And then to our estates, to make our peasants happy, we're going to give them common militias. It also increases our levy size and levy recovery, which means that we can fight and defend our borders more. Peasants are allowed to use weapons, combat efficiency goes up, and effects. That annoyed our nobles quite a bit, but that's fine, because we're going to annoy them even more by performing a reduction on them. We need money. We also need the nobles to be nowhere near as powerful as they are. Let me just look at that. 52%. Yeah, not happening. We can get rid of some of our castles in exchange for some money. That will give us some wiggle room. And then we're going to choose our rivals. Now, as an empire, we get 4. First one's going to be Serbia. Then the Ottomans. Then Bulgaria. Now you can either do the Germanids or the Karamanids. But usually, the Germanids are going to lose these 3 vassals literally the second that their person dies. They usually die within a year. So I'm tempted to just leave this one open for a bit. So then I can rival the Karasids in a second and fabricate a CB on them. We're then going to set this person on a peace state, and we're going to appease the nobles just so they don't rebel. I mean, they very well could do. Probably will start trying to, especially since we're moving to communalism at the same time. Not always the best idea. We're then going to use our diplomacy tab. And we're going to create a subject. A historical subject is going to be the subject of Thessaly, the Pronoia. We probably won't be needing to annex them anytime soon. Now we're going to see some locations because we are missing some. So now he has the 2 locations that we haven't integrated. Then we're going to go to Epirus and do the same thing. We have not got this integrated, but Epirus will integrate it for us. And come a month tick, we should be a lot better off than what we are. Interestingly enough, because we weren't improving relations with the Papal States, they've decided to declare us their rivals. Bulgaria's declared us a rival, and I'm pretty sure Serbia has or will do very soon. Like I said, almost the end of the month, and we're barely losing anything now because of it. We can also then go very min-maxy. Temples and Orthodox monasteries have been completely overhauled. They no longer give flat control boost, they give minus unrest, which is still good, but not the best. And they're also, as you can see, lacking stuff. The temples are. We're gonna lock them, close them. Orthodox monasteries, university, and the hospital, which will turn back on when Black Death comes. Now, our heir is a bona fide idiot. I'm gonna put him on admin in hopes that he gets a couple of points on admin, but realistically we're hoping more so that he dies in the plague. We also need our great Basilius to survive and overcome this sickness that he has. If we enter a regency, it becomes very dangerous because of the succession crisis and the fate of the Phoenix as well. It's very possible that he overcomes it. It's the same chance of death as it is removal. It's just a luck of the draw kind of thing. Even if he just survives a couple of years and then dies, as long as his son can inherit, you have a better chance, whichever son it may be, if you get lucky and the other kid dies in the plague. Okay, here it is. So we have 2 events at the beginning of the next month tick, the Turkish threat. Everyone's already seen, they know. Turkish Sunni peasants lose 50% pop satisfaction is the new change to the Turkish threat. That's the only thing that happens. Not really a bad thing. I think it's majority Greek anyway, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Could cause an uprising of men though. Now this is the new one, Fate of the Phoenix. Once the walls of Constantinople marked the center of the world. From there flowed law, faith, and imperial order, truly a legacy claimed from Rome herself. Now that inheritance weighs heavily upon us. Years of intrigue, hollow victories, and fraying authority have left the empire diminished in spirit if not yet in name. Beyond our borders, new powers gather with patience and hunger, while within them old offices rot from neglect. Our people deserve a better way to match the splendor and affluence of our glorious ancestors. I mean, yeah. Also, after that month tick, we are now making money at low minting, so we're going to get that inflation down, which is excellent. We really do need to bring that inflation down so we can begin minting again, and hopefully get cost of court back up to like a manageable level. Was it? Yeah, if I put mint on, yeah, if we can start minting again, we can start improving cost of court again. So we need to get our inflation as far down as we can. As long as we keep making, even if it's just pennies, as long as we're making money while getting our inflation down, we're doing good stuff. We're also going to put our glorious leader in charge of the navy, get an extra trait maybe, also keeps him up. Okay, lovely. So this vassal, like I was talking about earlier, can flip to you. Hence why we're building the spy network in Serbia. It's not actually for a casus belli, it's just for getting this to potentially switch. The region of Vardar, once owned by us, has long since fallen to the barbarians or the Slavs. After many decades, we might have the chance to return it to our foes through an unlikely ally. So if we can agitate for liberty before the year 1341, and they have less than 50% subject loyalty, they will automatically flip to us, which is great. It's a vassal with fully integrated land for free. Also, we have some claims on there, so like these two. So reclaiming those claims would be nice. Even if it's not directly us, it's still our claims. We're making a load of money now, 5.8. So we should 5.9 now. So yeah, it should be. The economy's recovering. Just need to make some money. We might even be able to pay off a debt or two soon. Pay off one, which is great because look, now we're making 6. There we go. So this is a guaranteed event, the administration of our current Basilius. So now we can spread Hellenism or Romanism. Was it Romanism or Latinism? So I guess Romanism's more so Greek now instead of Latin, which is Latinus. If we win the disaster, we will gain access to these cabinet actions permanently. Because currently we're way Roman, not Latin. I guess Latin would be more genuine Roman. Okay, so this is also another completely and utterly scripted event, the Co-Emperor. I would love to take the route, but 10 centralization compared to there's more flavor if he's Co-Emperor. And he becomes way more efficient in cabinet. He's Greek Orthodox, healthy. So, yeah, we're just gonna make him Co-Emperor. He's gonna become even more efficient at what he does. Right, so this is a very important event that you're going to want to have the money to do. So, we start with a fairly bad. Here, this is a very bad government reform. Yes, the bureaucracy entrenchments, being more fire is a good thing, but it gives the estates 30% power from their cabinet positions. That's not good. Now, this corrupted system for 37 can be removed, and we will add the reform ideals, which is what happened in the past. Now, this increases efficiency of cabinet, bureaucracy entrenched stays, we gain crown power and an extra cabinet seat. Only good thing. And we lose some money. I turn up minting for a month, and we gained like plus 10 ducats that month, just so we would have enough for this. That's exactly what we're going to do. And now that we're getting closer to the encouraged communalism, I'm gonna switch this. I'm gonna just use this. I'm gonna put this on communalism, and I'm gonna put this guy on appeasing the nobles because they are starting to rise up and fast. We got another one here. Our last Latin monarch of Epirus. So obviously this is from the Latin Crusade to the Fourth Crusade is the last state there. Has been smuggled. Our last Latin monarch of Epirus, the young Duke Nicephorus, has been smuggled out of the country to Achaia, where the Duchess Been swayed to its cause, there is no doubt about this. The Duchy of Achaia will seek the restoration of the ousted heir. Well, they have a CV on Empress now, which, I mean, is could be bad. It depends. Does Naples join in on this? If they don't, then it's not an issue at all. So, another one of these events that are almost guaranteed to pop up is the earthquake in Constantinople. Now, you used to be able to scrape by funding its repairs in before this DLC came out if you just made a bunch of money, did the two provenance little hack that you can do, and you did all that. We can't scrape that by anymore. And that sucks, but we are just gonna have to, there's nothing we can do. We can't lose that kind of money. And if you look here, because of the new patch, the Ottomans are very aggressive. So this war against the Ottomans is going to help a lot. They're probably going to take the Kandarids. I hope that they vassalize instead of invade, but I doubt they will. And it's for a take thing, so they're going to be really aggressive. We're also losing that big increase in money we had. I can show you on the tax base easier. That was when I was max minting. We had about 5 ducats, 4 ducats when I stopped minting. It's just going down and down. The reason for that is the trade bonus when you first start the game spikes and then drops back again. Once we start losing money, we're gonna have to start increasing the minting just over time to try and just stay out of going into debt, stay out of having to make another loan. I want to kind of keep far away from having to get any more loans as possible because 0.5 interest, so imagine this would be like 3.4. Yeah, we'd be 3.47 a month, which is a much better position, so I don't want to be taking out loans and paying useless money on interests. Another unfortunate, I think almost guaranteed thing is the general is taking the island here, which happened historically. I think it's like guaranteed, isn't it? We're about to see the peace deal between the Ottomans and the Kandarids as well. The Ottomans have declared us their rival as well, and it was a full annex. Did they do the whole family tree? I think they did. Yeah, that's just the first. Yeah, they did the whole family tree. Nice. The Germanids have their leaders dead. I don't know why this is in first person. I guess it's because their event, this is what they get, but I don't know why it's saying the same stuff to me. Now these are independent states. Our rival, the Karasids. Okay, well, our rulers survived long enough to get a trait, Silver Tongue trait, which is actually pretty nice here. Improved relations is better. Marriage desirability is +10, which doesn't matter for 41-year-old, but okay. Still, it's really good, and our guy has survived quite long. Okay, I was literally just about to celebrate because I was like, oh yay, another son, just in case everyone else died, but no. No, he's sickly, which means that he's not going to do good educationally. Could be a great general. Austria-Hungary is about to form, apparently, but not by Austria. Does that mean it's going to get called Hungary-Austria? Doesn't it? Doesn't really have the same ring to it, I hope not. Now, this is unfortunate, but yeah, the succession crisis has happened, and it's from our uncle. Okay, so we've got this event that's popped up, and I mean, as much as I would love to have the income to be able to pop that up, it's only eligible for the birthplace. It's not even guaranteed the birthplace, it's just eligible. This is a decaying modifier that doesn't. I mean, the institution promotion is always good. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it isn't, but it's not. We have funds, and Constantinople's already devastated from that earthquake. I think it'll live, and it's only -9% prosperity. But if you look at our duck, it's now -2. That's not really a deficit I want to be running. Pop that to a positive. We're still going -12. That's fine. We're making a lot from minting because of that law we codified earlier. I do want to point out now that these rebels have really kicked down. They went from 2.25 down to 0.25 because this passed a certain threshold. The Crown Pretenders is obviously going to be a big one that pops up. Shouldn't be too bad. Spy network's almost at 30, so we can agitate liberty. There's a lot going to happen. We were a month off being able to create a castle belly. We can now. Now we have claims on the province of Bulu, which is a 25% reduction. That's the best castle belly we can get. And we have claims on all three of those, but we're just going to do this one for now, because it's the forted one. You can also go down and do the non-fortified ones, but it's fine. I'm going to cancel building the spy network now that we've got the claim that we want. Okay, so events like these, especially now since that we've just started making these guys happy, we're not going to want to annoy them any further. I'd rather lose the peasants than lose the nobles. Once the nobles gets like 45, I'm probably going to switch this guy to appease the commoners. Okay, Parliament is here. I'm going to obviously hold on to the capital. Okay, we're gonna use this one. We're gonna make it pass as well. No, first thing we're gonna do is change from the paranoia system. We've already got one set up, and the paranoia system allows us to make paranoia, but it destroys our maximum tax. And with the our corruption that we already have, this minus 10% stacked on top at that flat 10% more as well is dreadful. It could ruin our economy. So we're gonna switch to this. Immediately get rid of that flat 10%. We are also still remaking some money, which is nice. I'm going to support the traditional economy and the bellicose support. Brings us up to 35, and that's all we can really do. From there, we gotta hope that we get some lucky events. Okay, very weird. We got this offer from Serbia. Well, actually, it's from the ally. More so, we're gonna agitate for liberty from them, so they're not loyal at all. And then we're going to take this offer, and then we're going to go on to Serbia, sabotage their reputation. All this will bring their loyalty down to 33. So hopefully by the time 41 passes around, it's not. We can agitate for liberty again, and from there, we should be okay. We're also making a lot more money now. Our inflation's a lot better. Okay, so quick update, our money just keeps increasing and increasing, so I've been able to just cut minting entirely. We're back down to nothing. And our estate system just passed. So we have another one that we can now use. We're going to use this one to spread this, which will increase our research progress and our cultural influence. Semi soon we'll have our claims on the Ottomans, about 15 months. The Ottomans are demanding stuff from us. No. Just no. We're also in a moment of weakness, probably not the smartest thing to do, but no. Also, I have no clue why, but our nobles have become enraged again recently because of our political power primary culture. So the rebels are going. So I think I can switch to a boy, get them up so I can levy, I think I need like 15, 20, and then I can levy an army. We are just getting all of these. Now, there are two routes you could technically go. You can ask for additional taxes or ask for larger levies. It all depends on how big your Ottomans are. You can also get the law changed to favor the elites for the maximum tax on the nobles. I'm not doing that. I think I want to play it slowly with these two and just fabricate my own castle bellies. I'll get this guy from Serbia. I honestly might just pass this because it gives me some decent bonuses. Alright, well we've just passed our parliament and we've got a revolt in Epirus. So we're gonna obviously get involved in this. I can't allow them to lose. any more satisfaction at the moment. We got the end of the revolt, and we're going to do that for the state satisfaction. And now look, we can levy our armies again, yeah, because we've hit 25%. Okay, so we've researched this, but we've also got the casus belli. We're just gonna immediately declare war. We already have a claims on provenance, so we don't need to threaten, and it's to take their cap. Okay, so they've flipped to us because it's 41, so they should be our vassal now. Very nice actually. I can stop building a spy network now. I mean, I could just create a CV on my claims. Could probably set a piece, which is a full annex. So about Orthodox Pontic, Orthodox Pontic. Yeah, I think that's enough right now. I can take a bunch of money from them. I can get war reps, they can release my slaves, and that should be everything. The Ottomans are now redundant buildings. That's spy network now. We gained 20 with the first age has started. Alright, so I'm gonna go for the admin. We should also get another event. Here it is. This gives us an extra cabinet seat, 20 years. This gives us state satisfaction equivalent. I'm gonna do this also for the legitimacy. It means I can start paying to break even. I'm also going to begin the annexation of Epirus. It's a very big one. It's going to take until 58, which is 16 years. So it's good to just get that out of the way now. It shouldn't be too bad or strenuous on anything. It can just happen in the background. So we gain 10 prestige from the Nicomedia one. There was an outbreak here, so I've reactivated the hospital. Also, Black Death is on the horizon, so it can probably stay. Unfortunately, at the age of 46, he passed away. Could never quite overcome the sickly trait. Finally, in August, we are able to start creating the casus belli required to declare war of Parasites and connect our land properly. We want to be hitting the coastal ones before they start converting a lot, because already some of this is mostly Turk. You've got to be he literally just finished integrating this and moved on to like a completely empty one. And he just craps out on me. Oh, he did that on purpose. I know it. I can feel it in my bones. Died on purpose. I know it. Okay. Second parliament started just about halfway before the casus belli was done. Just before this month booted up the imperial senate. I've also been min-maxing my minting. We've got it down to about 2.5. Okay. I'm gonna get a CB. We're already making one on the Karasov's midpoint. I'm gonna get one on Smyrna. I'm gonna do this one, which gives us up to like 100% support, by the way. Pretty much. And then I'm going to work up some more taxes and build okay, yeah. And that's all we need to do for this. The extra taxes I've adjusted for making bank. Okay, so Athens, for some reason, recently managed to break free. I have some claims on one of their vassals, so we're just gonna go for the war. I think Georgia doesn't like this. Why not? Are they Sunni? Is that oil? Muslim. Right, so yeah, that's being given back. Take the money off them as well. Antagonism, finally. Okay, casus belli. I mean, we have this so simple, right? Even using charge for the army, so. Yep, stack that. Did that every army. Yeah, we're saying that they've got 1,000 men, but I have zero clue where that is from. Really also. Okay, well I can get all the Karasids, and then that's like AE, right? No, sounding very nuts. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. 8 antagonisms for like the whole coastline. 8 antagonisms. We have 200 ducats. We pay our loans. There it is. We win this. Never mind. Why didn't we win that? We had a really bad opening brawl. Okay, he got his stuff back. Oh well, okay. They lost a bunch of stuff from that. It was a very worthwhile fight. We're not researching anything anymore. Okay, we're gonna go do this roll. Diplomatic annexation cost. And then plot 17. Peasant levy and army initiative. It's been a long war. Okay, we're at 100%. Hopefully they offer unconditional surrender. Well, we can do that. I mean, only moving 10 when I've moved like 6. I mean, again, the war sound is giving me heart attacks. I'm pretty sure I can survive that. Okay. What about death in our capital? Apologies guys, just realized I've got to report this war. It's been very simple. Had 500 men here, charged our capital, took it before they could raise anyone. These guys were all here. Yes, 100%. I'm glad that they've made this more difficult, but in some parts I wish that they had made it simpler. They've added bureaucracy. I feel like bureaucracy, it adds like a small element that it. What more rats? Yeah, no military dues. Oh, do I just vassalize the rest of them? Might as well, why not? And then we'll do the return of everything. Let's do that as well. There we go. We have one set of rebels, just Turks in one area. Yeah. Just Orthodox Turkish, everything around it is Greek. So if they rise up, we just get to kill a bunch of Turks. Yeah, here we go, even more now. Or even less now. Do we have... I want to keep pretty much everything that we've got now, and what we discussed. Greek, and then urban inland Cappadocia. Maybe Pontic up here, I don't mind doing that as well. And then accept Levantine. Yeah, we're getting close, we're made positive, we have no inflation. We can tax our estates even though it's small amounts. We're almost at 100 legitimacy, 50 prestige, pretty much no war exhaustion.